We want to go across now live to Union HRD Minister Smriti Irani. She's joining us on the newsroom. Ma'am, you've launched a vicious and direct attack now on Rahul Gandhi, asking him for a public open debate. Do you think at all that that might actually happen, that Rahul Gandhi accepts a debate with Smriti Irani?
I have no clue whether Mr. Gandhi would like to debate with me one-on-one. In a democracy, if he believes genuinely in deliberation, in discussion, then I'm more than happy to get into a discussion if he's truly concerned about governance and especially education, as was visible in his NSUI speak. If he wants to talk about education, so be it. I'm more than happy to debate with him.
He's also pumped up the volume as far as political attacks are concerned ever since he's come back from this sabbatical. Do you see a new, reloaded Rahul Gandhi at the NSUI conclave yesterday? He targeted Prime Minister Modi in the most bitter terms.
I think, Mr. Kanwal, you might be a fan of this newfound Rahul Gandhi, but I genuinely have absolutely no personal comment to make, because your question in itself gives an assumption that maybe Rahul Gandhi before the sabbatical was not good enough for you as a leader. It is for you and the people to judge whether he was bad then and good now, or for that matter, whether there is a renewed Rahul Gandhi right now. Very honestly, that is not my concern.
Okay, Smriti, your ministry is in the eye of a big controversy today, with IIT Madras having barred a group which says that they weren't given a fair hearing by the dean. Before a decision was taken to delist them, to bar them, they weren't given a fair hearing. As minister, how do you respond, ma'am?
I think that one has to be extremely open about the fact that if you want autonomy for institutions, you can't have selective autonomy. An autonomous educational institution took a decision with regards to its own procedures, rules and regulations. Will you condemn IIT Madras for responding to a certain plea of students on the basis of its own guidelines? And will you allow an autonomy of the institution to be trampled just because Congress might politically disagree with the HRD minister?
Ma'am, but did this not happen following a mail that was written from an official in your ministry to the dean, asking him to look at a complaint that had been sent to your office, ma'am?
I think, Mr. Kanwal, you need to be absolutely clear. When we receive correspondence from any individual group of individual institutions towards a particular institution, it is within our responsibility and our duties to forward that communication. We received the concern from the students of IIT Madras that they felt something illegal was happening on the campus. We are not the authority to answer that question. It is the IIT director to whom that mail was forwarded, and it is within his realm and jurisdiction to respond to it. Are you saying that the autonomic right of the IIT director to respond to administrative issues within his campus should be taken away from him just because Rahul Gandhi deems it irrelevant?
So are you saying that the letter sent by the HRD ministry had nothing at all to do in the dean's decision?
I think that the fact that the IIT Madras team administration in the morning very openly suggested and gave pointers to what steps they took says more than about how there is clarity on this event, and irrespective of the clarity, how Congress party still tried to mount a personal attack coming all the way up to my residence just to get some political brownie points.
You know, the Congress is also citing what Anil Kakotgar said. He resigned as the chairman of the board of governors of IIT Bombay and said that IIT should be left alone.
Kakotgar completed his term in office. We have papers to prove so.
Okay, so you're saying that this ministry, the HRD ministry, did not interfere, and you don't believe that the HRD minister's letter had anything to do with this?
I can legally back up what I'm saying, Mr. Kanwal.
Okay, and what happens now?
I'm a cabinet minister serving in the government of India, and whatever I'm saying, I have legal papers to prove it.
What happens now? I want to come back to your tweets, ma'am. What happens now in Amethi? You say in these tweets, I'll be returning to Amethi soon. Amethi emerging as the big political frontier.
And if Mr. Gandhi is so rattled to continue his attacks on me, he's more than welcome to do it.
Is this part of a strategy, Smriti ji, of trying to confine Rahul Gandhi to Amethi as he tries to campaign across the country, rebuild the Congress? By your direct attacks on Rahul Gandhi, are you trying to confine him to Amethi?
You give too much importance to Rahul Gandhi in terms of his leadership capacity. I don't.
Okay, before I end, now we're seeing the battle of the sisters, with Priyanka chipping in for Rahul, you stepping up on behalf of the Prime Minister. How do you respond to Priyanka Vadra's attack against you, saying that, while you're making all this noise, where is the triple IT that you promised to Amethi?
I had said this before, I'm saying it again, that Mrs. Vadra is absolutely low on facts. She should have done a little bit of research before making that statement. Triple IT Allahabad was very much in existence. Under the Triple IT bill became an institute of national importance in the last session. And also the Triple IT Amethi is off-campus center set up during the Congress regime. In the entire center, they had only one teacher to serve all the students of Amethi. Any thinking individual in this country knows that one teacher suffice. BJP government at the center is trying to strengthen that center and provide additional facilities so that there can be skill development. And we have sent a team to even look at the whole issue so that that particular center can serve the interests of the people of Amethi. Are you telling me that this is the intention of a government that is shutting down an institute or strengthening an institute which is open just so that Mr. Gandhi can catch a few headlines before elections?
I know you have a flight to catch, so I won't make it very long, but this government is being accused of being intolerant of criticism. How do you respond to all the social media chatter, the opinion polls, the opinion pieces that are coming out that say that this government reacts very strongly to any notion of criticism?
I think that Mr. Kanwal is very sad that this government responds to every plea, to every outcry of justice, shows that this government, when it tries to do justice to people, will be confronted by Congress leaders who are giving an indication to the people of the country that you break the law and the Congress will support you.
All right, I'm going to leave it over there. Smriti Irani for joining us on the newsroom. Thank you very much, ma'am.